Coffee. Brain booster or heart hazard? Science-backed guide for Americans. Imagine this. It's early morning in America, the alarm clock buzzes. Before emails, before traffic, before even talking to anyone, what's the first thing most people reach for? A steaming cup of coffee. It's more than a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, a companion that wakes up millions of Americans each day. But here's the burning question. Is that comforting cup a blessing for your brain or a silent hazard for your heart? Because behind the rich aroma and comforting warmth lies one of the biggest debates in modern nutrition. Some studies praise it as a miracle for memory, focus, and even longevity. Others warn it could raise blood pressure, stress your heart, and trigger hidden health problems. So which story is true, or could the answer be both? That's exactly what we're about to uncover in this deep dive journey. Together we'll explore coffee's history, its cultural grip on America, its nutritional secrets, the benefits backed by science, the risks often ignored, and the real-life stories of people who've seen both sides of this complex brew. By the end, you'll not only know the science, you'll know how to make coffee work for you, not against you. Setting the stage, America's love affair. To understand this drink's impact, we have to look at its place in our daily lives. Did you know that over 62% of American adults drink coffee every single day? That's more than any other beverage besides water. Walk into a Starbucks in New York, a diner in Kansas, or a gas station in Texas, you'll see one thing in common: people holding a cup, sipping their daily fuel. But this obsession didn't just start yesterday. It's woven into history, culture, and even politics. And the story of how coffee came to dominate our mornings is nothing short of fascinating. To understand where we are today with this drink, we first need to know where it came from. Legend has it that coffee's story began centuries ago in the Ethiopian highlands. A goat herder named Kaldi noticed his animals became unusually energetic after nibbling on certain red berries. Curious, he tried them himself and felt a surge of vitality. Word spread, and soon monks in nearby monasteries began brewing these beans to stay awake during long night prayers. That discovery was just the spark. By the 15th century, the roasted bean had traveled across the Arabian Peninsula, finding a place in Yemen where the first true coffee houses began to appear. These weren't just places to drink, they were hubs of conversation, debate, and learning. And soon, the drink's influence spread through trade routes into Europe. Coffee houses popped up in London, Paris, and Vienna, becoming known as penny universities, because for the price of a cup, you could sit for hours, soaking up knowledge and debate. By the 1600s, this energizing beverage had crossed the Atlantic to the New World. Colonial America quickly developed a taste. But here's a twist. During the Boston Tea Party of 1773, when colonists rebelled against British tea taxes, coffee rose as a patriotic alternative. From that moment, it became more than a drink. It was tied to identity. By the Civil War, soldiers relied on it to stay alert. By the 20th century, diners, factories, and office break rooms made it the workers' fuel. And then came the rise of brands: Folgers, Maxwell House, and eventually Starbucks. Coffee evolved from a simple cup to a billion-dollar culture, with lattes, frappuccinos, and cold brews lining every street corner in America. Coffee became more than just caffeine. It became a social glue. Think morning catch-ups, first dates, or business meetings. A comfort ritual. The smell alone signals it's time to start the day, and a symbol of productivity in America's work-driven culture. But here's the real kicker. With popularity came questions. If over half the US population drinks it daily, what is it doing inside our bodies? Does it sharpen our minds and extend our lives, or quietly damage our hearts? That's where we head next, the nutritional science of coffee. What's really in that cup beyond the caffeine buzz? To understand where we are today with this drink, we first need to know where it came from. Legend has it that coffee's story began centuries ago in the Ethiopian highlands. A goat herder named Caldi noticed his animals became unusually energetic after nibbling on certain red berries. Curious, he tried them himself and felt a surge of vitality. Word spread, and soon monks in nearby monasteries began brewing these beans to stay awake during long night prayers. That discovery was just the spark. By the 15th century, the roasted bean had traveled across the Arabian Peninsula, finding a place in Yemen, where the first true coffee houses began to appear. These weren't just places to drink, they were hubs of conversation, debate, and learning. And soon, the drink's influence spread through trade routes into Europe. Coffee houses popped up in London, Paris, and Vienna, becoming known as penny universities, because for the price of a cup, you could sit for hours, soaking up knowledge and debate. Coffee crosses the ocean. By the 1600s, this energizing beverage had crossed the Atlantic to the New World. Colonial America quickly developed a taste. But here's a twist. During the Boston Tea Party of 1773, when colonists rebelled against British tea taxes, coffee rose as a patriotic alternative. From that moment, it became more than a drink. It was tied to identity. By the Civil War, soldiers relied on it to stay alert. By the 20th century, diners, factories, and office break rooms made it the workers' fuel. And then came the rise of brands, Folgers, Maxwell House, and eventually Starbucks. Coffee evolved from a simple cup to a billion-dollar culture, with lattes, frappuccinos, and cold brews lining every street corner in America. Why the obsession? Coffee became more than just caffeine. It became a social glue. Think morning catch-ups, first dates, or business meetings, a comfort ritual. The smell alone signals it's time to start the day, and a symbol of productivity in America's work-driven culture. But here's the real kicker. With popularity came questions. If over half the US population drinks it daily, what is it doing inside our bodies? Does it sharpen our minds and extend our lives, or quietly damage our hearts? That's where we head next, the nutritional science of coffee. What's really in that cup beyond the caffeine buzz? We all know coffee wakes us up, but what's hiding in that dark liquid besides caffeine? Let's break it down. 1. Caffeine, the star player. Of course, the most famous component is caffeine. It's a natural stimulant that works by blocking adenosine, the brain chemical that makes you feel drowsy. The result? You feel alert, focused, and sometimes even euphoric. But caffeine isn't just about staying awake. Research shows it can boost reaction time, improve memory and concentration, enhance physical performance by releasing adrenaline. The average cup of coffee contains 95 milligrams of caffeine, but that number can swing anywhere from 70 to 200, depending on the brew, the beans, and the size of your cup. 2. Antioxidants. Coffee's secret weapon. Here is something most people don't realize. Coffee is one of the largest sources of antioxidants in the American diet. Yes, even more than fruits and vegetables for many people. These compounds, like chlorogenic acids and polyphenols, help reduce inflammation, fight cell damage, and may lower the risk of chronic diseases. That means your morning brew isn't just fuel. It could also be fighting oxidative stress linked to aging, cancer, and heart disease. 3. Micronutrients, the hidden extras. Coffee isn't loaded with vitamins and minerals like a green smoothie, but it does contain small amounts of important nutrients. Magnesium supports muscle and nerve function. Potassium helps balance blood pressure. Niacin, vitamin B3, important for energy metabolism. While a single cup won't replace a balanced diet, multiple cups across the week add up. 4. The other compounds. Here is where it gets interesting. Coffee also contains natural oils and acids that can have mixed effects. For example, cafestol and kaweol, compounds found in unfiltered coffee, like French press, may raise LDL cholesterol. Acids can sometimes trigger heartburn or upset stomach in sensitive people. So while it's packed with antioxidants, coffee also carries potential downsides depending on how you prepare it and how much you drink. So now we know coffee isn't just a jolt of caffeine. It's a complex chemical cocktail with both allies and potential enemies inside. The big question: how do those compounds play out in real health outcomes? Does that antioxidant power outweigh the risks? Does caffeine really protect the brain, or does it silently strain the heart? That S where we headed next, the proven health benefits, and what science says this drink does to your body. So far, we've seen coffee's history, cultural significance, and what's inside that morning cup. Now comes the part everyone's curious about. What does it actually do for your health? From memory boosts to disease prevention, coffee isn't just a wake-up call, it's a potential wellness ally. 1. Brain power, sharpening focus and memory. Caffeine, the star player, doesn't just make you alert, it stimulates the central nervous system, improving attention, reaction times, and short-term memory. Studies show moderate coffee drinkers have up to a 20% lower risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Some research even suggests coffee may protect against Parkinson's disease thanks to caffeine's neuroprotective effects. Think about it. Your morning cup isn't just energizing you, it could be protecting your brain decades down the line. 2. Mood and mental health. Coffee doesn't just wake the brain, it lifts the spirits. Caffeine increases dopamine and serotonin signaling, the feel-good chemicals in your brain. Multiple studies in the US show regular coffee consumption is associated with lower rates of depression and reduced suicide risk. No wonder so many Americans reach for that cup during early morning blues. 3. Heart health, friend or foe? Here's where the debate heats up. For decades, coffee got a bad reputation for raising blood pressure and heart disease risk. But modern studies tell a nuanced story. Moderate intake, 3 to 5 cups per day, is associated with a reduced risk of heart failure and stroke. Some compounds in coffee, like antioxidants, help improve blood vessel function. Overconsumption, especially in sensitive individuals, can temporarily spike blood pressure, but long-term studies show no increased risk for most adults. So the takeaway? Moderation is key. That beloved daily ritual might be a heart ally rather than a hidden danger, if done right. 4. Metabolic health and diabetes. Coffee may also play a role in blood sugar regulation. Studies show regular coffee drinkers have a 20–30% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The polyphenols in coffee improve insulin sensitivity, helping the body manage glucose more efficiently. For many seniors and adults in the US, that's a compelling reason to keep the brew going. 5. Liver health. This one might surprise you. Coffee is liver-friendly. It reduces the risk of cirrhosis, fatty liver disease, and even liver cancer. One study found that drinking 2 to 3 cups per day significantly lowers liver enzyme levels and inflammation markers. Your morning ritual isn't just waking you up. It could be quietly protecting a vital organ you rarely think about. 6. Longevity and anti-inflammatory effects. Coffee's antioxidants help fight chronic inflammation, a key factor in aging and many diseases. Large US cohort studies show coffee drinkers tend to live longer than non-drinkers. Even modest intake, 1–2 cups per day, has measurable protective effects against several age-related diseases. Imagine sipping that cup and knowing science suggests it could add quality years to your life. The evidence is compelling. Coffee in moderation isn't just a morning habit, it's a functional beverage with potential benefits for brain health, mood, metabolism, liver function, and longevity. But let's be honest, nothing in life is perfect. Coffee also comes with risks and side effects, especially if you overdo it, brew it wrong, or fall into common pitfalls. That is what we'll explore next. How to enjoy coffee safely and avoid hidden hazards. So we've seen the science. Coffee can boost your brain, lift your mood, protect your liver, and even help longevity. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you drink it the smart way? Because the difference between a healthy cup and a risky one often comes down to how, when, and how much. 1. Ideal dosage. How much is just right? Experts suggest 3 to 5 cups per day is considered a moderate, healthy intake for most adults. Each cup contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine, so that's roughly 300 to 400 milligrams daily. Go beyond that consistently, and you might run into jitteriness, insomnia, or heart palpitations. Remember, sensitivity varies. Seniors, people with high blood pressure, or those prone to anxiety may feel side effects at even 1-2 cups. Listen to your body. 2. Timing matters. Morning hours. Drinking coffee in the morning helps maximize alertness and avoid interfering with your natural cortisol rhythm. Avoid late afternoon or evening. Caffeine can stay in your system for 6 to 8 hours. A 4 p.m. cup could disrupt sleep and negate its cognitive benefits. Post-meal. For some people, coffee can affect mineral absorption, like iron or calcium. Pair wisely, especially if you're monitoring bone health. 3. Brew type. Filtered versus unfiltered. Filtered coffee, drip, pour over, removes most oils that can raise LDL cholesterol. Unfiltered coffee, French press, Turkish, contains cafestol and kawil, which can impact cholesterol in sensitive individuals. If heart health is a concern, go filtered. If not, unfiltered offers slightly more antioxidants. Just be mindful. 4. Coffee and additives. The healthiest coffee is plain, black or with minimal milk, plant-based alternatives. Sugar, syrups, and flavored creamers can add hundreds of empty calories and spike blood sugar. Opt for cinnamon, vanilla extract, or cocoa powder for flavor without health trade-offs. 5. Combining coffee with other healthy habits. Coffee works best as part of a balanced routine. Hydration, drink water alongside coffee to avoid dehydration. Exercise. Caffeine can enhance workout performance. A cup 30 to 60 minutes before activity improves endurance. Balanced meals. Pair coffee with fiber, protein, and healthy fats to sustain energy without spikes and crashes. 6. Practical uses beyond drinking coffee isn't just a beverage. Topical antioxidant, used in scrubs or masks for skin benefits. Mental focus booster, can replace short-term energy drinks for office productivity. Natural alertness aid, prepares the brain for study sessions, driving or creative work. Of course, even with all these benefits, too much coffee, or drinking it the wrong way, can backfire. Next, we'll explore the risks, side effects, and who should be careful, because understanding the hazards is just as important as knowing the benefits. Coffee is beloved, but like any powerful substance, it's not without potential pitfalls. Overconsumption, sensitivity, or underlying health conditions can turn a morning boost into a source of problems. Let's break it down. 1. Common side effects of excess. Coffee jitters and anxiety. High caffeine intake can overstimulate the nervous system, causing restlessness and heart palpitations. Insomnia. Drinking late in the day can disrupt sleep, reduce REM cycles, and leave you groggy the next morning. Digestive issues. Coffee is acidic and can trigger heartburn, reflux, or upset stomach in sensitive individuals. Headaches. While moderate caffeine relieves tension headaches, too much can cause rebound headaches. 2. Cardiovascular considerations. For most healthy adults, coffee is heart-friendly. But in certain situations, high blood pressure, caffeine can temporarily spike blood pressure, particularly in non-regular drinkers. Heart arrhythmias. Individuals prone to irregular heartbeat may notice palpitations after strong coffee or energy drinks. Doctors usually recommend moderation and regular monitoring if you have existing heart conditions. 3. Bone health and mineral absorption. Excessive coffee can reduce calcium absorption, which may affect bone density over time. Seniors, especially postmenopausal women, should balance coffee with calcium-rich foods or supplements. 4. Pregnancy and nursing. Pregnant women should be cautious. High caffeine intake is linked to increased risk of low birth weight and miscarriage in some studies. Most experts suggest keeping caffeine under 200 mg per day, roughly 1 to 2 cups. Nursing mothers should monitor how caffeine affects their baby's sleep and temperament. 5. Interactions with medications. Coffee can interact with certain medications. Blood thinners, e.g. warfarin, excessive caffeine may affect clotting. Stimulant medications, combined use can worsen anxiety, high blood pressure and heart rate. Certain antibiotics or psychiatric medications, caffeine metabolism can be affected, leading to stronger effects. Always consult a healthcare provider if you have chronic conditions or take medications. 6. Signs you're overdoing it. Listen to your body. Warning signs of too much coffee include trouble falling asleep, racing heartbeat, nervousness or agitation, upset stomach or frequent reflux, tremors or shaky hands. Adjusting your intake or switching to decaf can often resolve these issues. The key takeaway: coffee is a powerful beverage, but like all power tools, it must be handled wisely. For most adults, moderate intake is safe, enjoyable, and even protective. For some individuals, caution is necessary. Numbers and studies are powerful, but stories are unforgettable. Let's meet a few everyday Americans whose lives reveal the real impact of this beloved beverage. 1. The college student from Boston. Emma, 21, juggles a full course load at Boston University with part-time work. Her secret weapon: a morning latte. Benefit: the caffeine helps her focus during early lectures and late-night study sessions. Challenge: on days she overdoes it, 3+ large drinks, she experiences jitters and heart palpitations. Emma learned the hard way that moderation matters. She now sticks to 1 strong cup in the morning and avoids caffeine after 2 p.m. 2. The retired teacher from Ohio. Martha, 68, a retired teacher, starts every day with black coffee. Benefit: coffee gives her mental clarity and energy for volunteer work and morning walks. Health tip: she drinks filtered coffee to avoid the cholesterol-raising compounds in unfiltered brews. Martha's story shows that coffee can be a healthy daily ritual, especially when consumed thoughtfully. 3. The tech professional from Silicon Valley. Raj, 35, works long hours coding at a tech startup. His routine includes multiple cups of coffee and energy drinks. Benefit: initial alertness and improved performance during long coding sprints. Challenge: frequent insomnia, anxiety, and digestive discomfort. Raj's experience highlights the pitfalls of overconsumption and the importance of timing and dosage. He eventually cut back to 2 cups of high-quality coffee per day and noticed dramatic improvements in sleep and mood. 4. The marathon runner from Texas. Linda, 52, is a weekend marathoner. She discovered that a small cup of coffee before long runs improves endurance and energy. Tip: she times her coffee 30-45 minutes before workouts for maximum benefit without digestive upset. Outcome: she performs better and recovers faster, all without supplements or energy gels. This illustrates how coffee can be a functional part of a fitness routine when used strategically. 5. The busy mom from Florida. Jasmine, 40, manages a full-time job, 2 kids, and evening classes. Benefit: coffee helps her maintain energy and focus throughout her busy schedule. Tip: she avoids sugary additives and opts for black coffee or milk alternatives to protect her metabolic health. Her story shows coffee as a practical tool for modern American life, if consumed with awareness. Common threads across stories. Coffee boosts focus, energy, and productivity. Moderation and timing are critical for avoiding side effects. Brew type, additives, and personal sensitivity affect health outcomes. Real benefits come when coffee is integrated into a balanced lifestyle: hydration, nutrition, exercise, and sleep. These stories show that coffee isn't tea, a magic pill, but it can be a powerful ally when used wisely. Next, we'll compare coffee with other popular beverages and alternatives, from tea to energy drinks, to see how it stacks up for brain function, heart health, and overall wellness in modern America. Coffee has dominated mornings for decades, but it's not the only beverage claiming to boost energy, focus, or wellness. Let's see how it stacks up against some common alternatives. 1. Tea, the calm caffeine option. Caffeine content lower than coffee, 30 to 70 milligrams per cup. Brain benefits. Contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm alertness and reduces jitters. Heart benefits, rich in antioxidants, catechins and flavonoids that support cardiovascular health. Comparison. Tea offers gentler stimulation with less risk of anxiety or insomnia, but it may not provide the same sharp cognitive boost or performance enhancement that coffee does for many people. 2. Energy drinks. Quick fix, high risk, caffeine content, often 80-200 plus mg per serving, plus sugar. Risks. High sugar and artificial additives can spike blood pressure, cause jitters, and affect heart rhythm. Comparison. While energy drinks can provide a temporary alertness spike, coffee delivers a more balanced cognitive and metabolic boost, with fewer risks when consumed responsibly. 3. Decaf coffee, the low-caffeine alternative. Caffeine content, 2 to 5 milligrams per cup. Benefits: retains many antioxidants found in regular coffee. Best for people sensitive to caffeine or with heart rhythm concerns. Comparison: decaf provides some brain protective and liver benefits, but without the alertness boost of caffeine. 4. Matcha and other green drinks. Caffeine content, about 70 milligrams per serving, plus high levels of antioxidants. Benefits: combines energy boost with calming compounds, supporting focus and cellular health. Comparison: matcha may rival coffee in antioxidant content and cognitive benefits, but lacks the bold flavor and routine appeal many Americans associate with coffee rituals. 5. Water and hydration drinks. Coffee is mildly diuretic, but still contributes to hydration. Plain water, coconut water, and electrolyte drinks are essential for physical performance and cardiovascular health. Comparison: coffee can complement hydration, but cannot replace the fundamental need for water in daily health routines. Key takeaways from beverage comparisons: coffee is unmatched for alertness, focus, and productivity in daily American life. Tea and matcha offer gentler stimulation and additional calming benefits. Energy drinks provide short-term spikes but carry higher risks. Decaf allows for antioxidant intake without caffeine stress. Hydration is non-negotiable. Coffee works best as part of a balanced beverage routine. In short, coffee is not alone, but it holds a unique combination of stimulatory and health-promoting effects, making it a versatile tool when consumed thoughtfully. So far, we've covered coffee's history, nutrients, benefits, risks, real-life stories, and comparisons. But let's take a step back and look at the big picture. How can this daily ritual contribute to long-term health, prevention, and longevity? 1. Cognitive longevity, protecting the brain over decades. Research shows regular moderate coffee consumption is linked to a lower risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Antioxidants in coffee fight oxidative stress, a major contributor to cognitive decline. By incorporating coffee into a balanced diet, seniors can potentially maintain sharper memory and mental clarity well into their 70s and 80s. 2. Cardiovascular protection in the long term. Moderate coffee intake is associated with a lower risk of heart failure and stroke, according to large U.S. cohort studies. Coffee's polyphenols may improve blood vessel function and reduce chronic inflammation, both key to a healthy heart. Combining coffee with heart-healthy habits, exercise, balanced diet, and stress management can enhance its protective effects. 3. Metabolic health and diabetes prevention studies show coffee drinkers have a 20–30% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Regular coffee consumption may improve insulin sensitivity and glucose regulation, supporting long-term metabolic health. 4. Liver and organ health. Coffee helps reduce the risk of cirrhosis, fatty liver disease, and liver cancer. This is particularly important in the US, where liver-related conditions are rising due to diet, alcohol use, and obesity. 5. Anti-inflammatory and longevity effects. Chronic inflammation contributes to aging, heart disease, and cancer. Coffee's antioxidants fight this inflammation. US studies indicate that coffee drinkers may live longer than non-drinkers, particularly when intake is moderate and part of a balanced lifestyle. 6. Lifestyle integration. How to make coffee work for you. Morning ritual. Start the day with a cup to boost alertness, focus, and motivation. Pre-workout boost. Caffeine improves endurance and performance in both cardio and strength exercises. Balanced pairing. Drink with water, whole foods, and moderate portions to maximize benefits without overdoing caffeine. Mindful timing. Avoid late afternoon coffee to protect sleep quality. 7. Coffee as a preventive tool. Think of coffee as a functional beverage rather than just a habit, protects the brain and heart over time, supports metabolic health and liver function, reduces inflammation, potentially slowing age-related disease progression. For modern American adults and seniors, a thoughtful daily cup can be part of a preventive health routine, much like exercise or a nutrient-rich diet. By combining coffee with balanced nutrition, hydration, physical activity, and stress management, you're not just enjoying a beverage, you're investing in long-term wellness. So here we are, after a journey through centuries across continents into labs and into real American lives. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned about coffee. Quick recap. The big takeaways. A rich history and culture. From Ethiopian highlands to American diners, coffee has shaped rituals, conversations, and even revolutions. Nutritional powerhouse. Caffeine for alertness, antioxidants for cellular protection, and small amounts of vitamins and minerals. Proven health benefits. Brain. Boosts memory, focus, and may protect against dementia. Heart. Moderate intake supports cardiovascular function. Liver. Reduces risk of cirrhosis, fatty liver, and liver cancer. Metabolism. Lowers type 2 diabetes risk. Longevity. Associated with longer, healthier life. Practical use and safety. Moderate intake, mindful timing, and filtered brews maximize benefits. Overconsumption can cause jitters, insomnia, digestive upset, or heart strain in sensitive individuals. Lifestyle integration. Coffee works best as part of a balanced lifestyle. Hydration, nutrition, exercise, and sleep. Real-life stories. Americans from all walks of life, students, seniors, athletes, and busy parents, experience coffee's benefits and challenges firsthand. Motivational takeaway. Your morning cup isn't just a caffeine fix. It's a daily tool for focus, health, and longevity. But like any tool, it works best when used wisely. Imagine sipping your coffee knowing you're boosting brain power, supporting heart and liver health, fighting inflammation and protecting metabolic function, taking part in a centuries-old ritual that has fueled thinkers, leaders, and everyday Americans just like you. Coffee is more than a beverage. It's a partner in a healthy, intentional life. Final thought. The choice is yours. Every cup is a choice. Will you let it energize you mindlessly, or will you harness it thoughtfully? as part of a lifestyle that promotes clarity, longevity, and wellness. The science is clear, the stories are real, the potential is yours. So, the next time you reach for that cup, savor it. Not just for flavor, but for the power it holds in your daily life. If you found this journey enlightening, inspiring, or practical, subscribe for more deep dive health and wellness stories. Hit the notification bell to never miss our expert-backed content. Share your coffee story in the comments. How has it impacted your life? Let's continue learning, exploring, and living better, one cup at a time.